at Baghdad Cemetery just outside of Austin, Texas to check out filming locations for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Look at that right behind us. You might recognize that from the film. We just so happen to be here during an ice storm, right after an ice storm. But should just add to the excitement of the video. We're going to check out a bunch of filming locations from the movie, and we cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along. We are at the grave of Colonel Charles C. Mason. He was the first ever postmaster here in Baghdad.
His grave became very well known many years after his death. That's because it was in the opening scenes of the movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It had his, as well as this one right here. You saw this part and that part, and somewhere right in this area here is where that corpse would have been. Now that one was made just for the movie. Grave robbing in Texas is this hour's top news story. Officers there discovered what appeared to be a grisly work of art. The remains of a badly decomposed body wired to a large monument. A second body was found in a ditch near the perimeter of the cemetery.
We're at the grave of J. Clarence Pickle. He passed away September 28, 1918.
He was only 23 years old. He was born in 1895, so 23 years old when he passed away. Of course, there was no way for him to ever know that he would become part of one of the greatest horror movies of all time, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. His grave is shown while the van is coming down this road right here. It would have been somewhere around where that little light pole is right there, where the van would have passed by. And actually, believe it or not, that building right there, Heather was having us look at the buildings to line up where this grave was. I said, no, it's not going to be the same. It is the same. That building was here for the movie. It had a blue top to the building at the time of filming.
Several of these headstones were also shown in the movie. You can see the one right here in front of us, as well as the large one in the middle of this shot, and the two off to the left of it. The shot in the movie makes it appear as though the headstones are much closer to each other than they are in real life, which made it a bit difficult to find the exact location of the shot.
This headstone right here is shown in the background while some guys are standing around right here in the van. Drives by.
Some people were hanging out right here in the cemetery when a group showed up. One guy was laying in the grass with a beer in his hand. We are now at Slaughter BBQ, which is the same place that made a couple of special memorable appearances in the movie. It was a gas station and a restaurant.
Yeah, and it wasn't much of a gas station. Remember, we ain't got no gas. Transport won't be here till later this afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning. Now, in the movie, the gas tanks were set up right over here. Right in here, that's exactly where they would have been. And everybody, the gang, would have pulled up in that van early in the movie and parked right here. I used the second one. The second wooden post right here is about where the front of the van was. And then there's the green chair. There it is right there. And the mop bucket. And the man comes out here who's been sitting there, and he starts washing the windshield like here.
The mop bucket and the chair are almost in the exact same spot as they were in the movie, although they are sitting further back now. Also, the word worms has been removed from the window on the front door. Somewhere right in here is where the golf sign was when they filmed the movie. Here is a cool bench that they've added in front of the store. It says in memory of those who went before us. Then it has a picture of many of the actors from the movie. I'm going to try not to massacre their names, but here we go. Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface, Jim Cito, the cook, Robert Corton, the window washer, Toby Hooper, the director, Marilyn Burns, who played Sally, Paul Parton, who was Franklin, as well as the art director, Bob Burns. On the bench is a chainsaw, of course, as well as the face of Leatherface and his hammer. On the bottom of the bench are the words, "The saw is family." Whoa, wait. Now that is some scariness right there.
Now we'll take a walk behind the building. You can actually stay here and spend the night in one of the buildings back here. Also, you'll find a van very similar to the one used in the movie. We know it's not the actual van though because the doors open instead of it being a sliding door like it was in the movie. Jerry, of course, was the driver of the van, and right in this area here behind the door is where Franklin was sitting so he could easily get in and out with his wheelchair. At one point they see a hitchhiker, and we'll show you that location in just a bit. The girls wanted to pick him up, while the guys didn't, but they decided to give him a ride. He sat back here, in the back of the van. He starts telling some really freaky stories about how he used to kill cattle using the old way, which he liked much better than the new way. Eventually, he grabs a knife from Franklin and cuts his hand. Later, he ends up pulling another knife out of his pocket and cutting Franklin with it after Franklin wouldn't give him $2 for a picture he took of him. They throw him out of the van. This is also the store Sally runs to after escaping out of the second-story window at Leatherface's house. She runs right up to the store, right through here, and gets up to the front door. When she gets here, she discovers that the door is locked. She can't get in. So she heads down to this door right here, which she is able to get into. But unfortunately, when she gets inside, she finds Leatherface's brother. He ties her up. He puts her into his truck, which is very similar to the truck that they have sitting here right now. Out front, we see the sign is still the same as it was for the movie. It's a Coca-Cola sign with "We Slaughter BBQ" below it. We'll take a walk out here and see where the group left in the van. The light post seen to the right of the golf sign is still here to this day, and here is where they left.
We are now at the house where Leatherface stayed with his crazy family.
Right there it is. This is wild and very exciting that they still have this house in great shape. They redid it. They actually took it all apart, put it into a bunch of pieces, and moved the thing quite a few miles to its new location here in Kingsland, Texas. And they've opened up what's apparently a wonderful little cafe restaurant here. You can actually go inside. You can go up the stairway. You can see the area upstairs. You can also see the kitchen area, all the different areas. You can eat in the kitchen area. You can eat in the area where all these people were killed in the movie. How creepy. Would you eat in there?
No.
No? Okay. So the first time, unfortunately because of the weather today, closed due to weather. So sorry. So we can't get in there, but we're going to get a look inside anyway through the window right here. Now, the first time this house makes an appearance in the movie, it's Pam and Kirk who show up here. They've just gone and found the generator, and they're trying to find somebody because they need some gas for their vehicle. So Pam would have sat right here on the stairs, on the second stair. Now, they've redone the stairs a little bit, so it's not exactly the same. But there we go, right there. They put some stone type steps in here. So she would have sat there, and Kirk comes up to the door right here and starts knocking. And then he makes the mistake that so many people make in horror movies. Heather and I were talking about this when we were watching the movie. What are you going in there for, Kirk? Why do you go in there?
Why?
It doesn't even make sense. So Kirk goes marching in there. He's looking around, and he starts seeing all this crazy stuff, and he trips and falls. And out comes Leatherface to hit him over the head with that hammer and yank him into that room right to the left of the stairs. Right inside here. This is the actual house from the movie. I don't want to get caught in there. Maybe we gotta get away from that door. I'll leave Heather here. I'm getting out of here. You gonna stay there? You going in? You going in? I'm gone. I'm gone. Ah! Okay, we're back for more. Let's take a peek inside. There, to the left of the stairs, you can see the door where Leatherface had his killing area set up inside the house. These are the stairs Sally ran up later in the movie, and eventually she made her way to the window there at the top of the stairs.
We've now made our way on over to the back of the house to show you the exact window where Sally jumped out of.
Right there. There it is. Right up there. She's trying to get away from the family. She just had the unfortunate opportunity to meet the whole family and to hang out with them, and things were getting pretty rough. They were dunking her head in some water, and she got away. Ran up the stairs, jumped out of that window right here. Of course, this whole area has been added onto the house all through here. The house would have just been to right there. She jumped out, landed on the ground, took off kind of hobbling on down the road. We're going to head over there and show you the exact spot where that happened right now. Let's do it. Let's hobble on over there. Come on.
Come on.
This is the road Sally ended up on when she escaped Leatherface's house for the final time. There's not much left of the road anymore, but we're lucky there's anything left with all the development that has popped up around here over the years. This is also where Leatherface's house was when the movie was filmed. I'm now up at the top of Quick Hill. This was named after the former resident who owned this piece of property. His name was William Quick. So they called it Quick Hill. Now, there's been a lot of development. They took the house out, of course, and moved it to where we showed you. Probably a good thing they did because a highway came in right through there. And there's been a bunch of development all through there. There's also a sign right here talking about more development to come. This area might not be around much longer. Now, during the movie, of course, this was used also for that famous final scene where the truck driver comes around the corner. Now, that would have been right through here. This road would have veered off to the right, off in that direction, right through here. The truck driver would have come around the veer, pulled in right through here, and into this area over here. The driver stopped his truck right here. And somewhere right in this area here is where Leatherface cut himself with his own chainsaw. George Franklin Barber built the Leatherface family house in the movie. He built 2 other almost identical houses around the same time. One of them is this one right here, which is now a dentist office. It has also been moved and was originally located close to the family home near Quick Hill. This is Hutto High School. At the time of the filming, it was an empty field. This is the spot where the group picked up the hitchhiker. It's now a pretty busy street.
So I guess we better head on out of here before Leatherface gets us.
You never know where members of his crew, his family may be lurking in this building, in this truck. We gotta get out of here. Y'all be sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.